In this episode of Desert Lore, I'll be traveling to the Great Salt Lake Desert of northern Utah and visiting the world-famous Bonneville Salt Flats, a land so stark and open that you can literally see the curvature of the earth. In the 1800s, many a traveler and pioneer met their fate trying to cross this vast, salty desert. I'll be visiting art installations and taking a look at these salt flats firsthand. Okay, I'm stopped at a kind of an iconic area. A few years ago, some people started taking photos kayaking in this, and it was very visually stunning because in this area there's a lot of drainage ponds where they will take out some of the salts and the salt waters and put them in a holding pond, let it evaporate out, and then pull out the valuable minerals from it, put it back in. But what this does is it results in a lot of really vibrant colors and a lot of interesting bacteria. So a few years ago, some people discovered this spot right next to the freeway and did some really beautiful kayaking shots, and it was like, wow, and everybody thought it was so cool. But now they said, hey, look, you don't want to go in this water because it's bad for you. So they encourage people, do not go in this water. We're not going to go in it, but we're going to go ahead and fly a drone over it because it is still visually stunning. And I want you to get a little bit of a sense of just how beautiful this stark, harsh, Great Salt Lake area can be. I'm out here at the Tree of Utah, which is an art installation. I believe this was put up in the 1970s. And it's interesting how things change over time. All growing up, it was just an art installation, but then people put a fence up, and now, as you can see, people have put locks all over it and put their own marks as a way, almost like it's a pilgrimage to come out to it. None of this was here when I was a kid. There was just the fallen off pieces and the tree itself. I'll get some drone shots of this so you can see, but it's an ever-changing piece of artwork where you have, again, these pieces that were supposed to have kind of symbolically fallen off, but now people are adding their own bit to it to show they've experienced it. And so again, what you see here is how art has changed, against the starkness of this vast open desert in this straightaway, and we're almost to the salt flats. Then this is very much something that stands out. It's a wayfarer. And now, since they have put this fence around it to guard it, then people have started to leave their mark, all different kinds of things. I think this is part of humans' way to say, I was here, You got locks, but you got random stuff like an old Red Bull can, just something for someone to somehow, some way say that they were here. It's a very interesting thing, and we have this all throughout history. Anytime, anywhere, somebody leaves some rock art, leaves their mark, leaves a handprint, then other people come along and they say, oh, I had to do the same thing here. And then more people do it, and more people do it, and it becomes a spot to do that. And again, that's what you have here. All because this was originally made. Because I've got a raven nest up there too. You can kind of see it underneath there. Big old raven nest. right now I'm out here near the salt flats, and where I'm at, there's an amazing phenomenon going on right behind me. It's what we call the floating islands. So we have two sort of meteorological phenomenon that can occur out here. One is something most people have heard of, that's called a mirage. The other one, fewer people have heard of, it's called a fata morgana, named after Morgan Le Fay of famed Arthurian legend. So one of these, it's hot air above, cold air below, and the other one's the exact opposite. One will make it look like there's water below, the other will make objects rise up. And you'll have, like, again, the Fata Morgana is named after Morgan Le Fay, this magical island of Arthurian legend that would just appear out of the water. And there is a place in kind of near Greece, off where this island just appears. There's these tiny little rocks, and under certain conditions like this, they just rise up and look like these big old huge islands. It's a really neat phenomenon that can happen, and it's not very hot right now. It's only in the 50s, so I'll do some close-up shots, but we've been looking all out here. We've been seeing shots where we've got all kinds of things. We've had, you know, it looks like there's semi-trucks floating along and all kinds of things. So it's really a neat phenomenon, and it's cool to see it out here. And again, even better when it gets hotter. But right now, this is a good temperature, and you can still see some of these floating islands. All right, I'm out here at the Bonneville Salt Flats. Now, this is a really cool place, and it's really beautiful. It's very stark, and it's just a bunch of salt. Now, this area, this whole area for miles, for hundreds of miles in the area, is technically salt flats, but this is the official salt flats. Now, this time of year, there's been a lot of water, and so it's not as fancy looking as it will maybe in another month. In another month, it's all going to dry out, and right now you see these kind of these little cones, these crystals everywhere, and that's the water seeping up to the surface and evaporating out. Now, the reason why there's salt here is because there used to be a freshwater lake. There was an ancient Lake Bonneville here that was from 1 million years ago till about 10,000 years ago. It emptied out. It was a freshwater lake, but it doesn't have a natural empty to the ocean. It did when a natural barrier broke in Idaho called Red Rock Pass, flooded it, made it to the Snake River, and eventually to the Columbia River, and eventually to the ocean. But it dropped down to where now it's a playa lake, which means it's a lake that goes nowhere. So all the water from the mountains comes here and evaporates out. Any salt coming down from the mountains is just going to build up, build up, build up. It has nowhere to go because the water evaporates out, but the salt doesn't. And so it gets saltier and saltier and saltier. This is where we get the Great Salt Lake, and this is also where we get these beautiful Bonneville Salt Flats. Now, to the north of us, there's also a section where they do the Bonneville Raceway, where the fastest cars on Earth are raced on these open salt flats, jet cars, rocket cars, things like that. It's really an amazing thing they do out here. But this whole area, again, can fluctuate wildly. There can be water over covering these salt flats at times. Right now it's kind of mushy just under the surface, which is why all above there's these dark patches. But again, in another 3 weeks, a month, this is going to be just glistening white, vibrant crystals everywhere, and really kind of stoic. One of the things that they say about this area is they say this is the only place on Earth that you can see the curvature of the Earth. It's so flat. Well, first of all, there's a lot of places like that all over the Earth. There's some in South America, and they say the same thing. This is the only place on the planet where you can see the curvature of the Earth. There's a lot of places that are that flat that you can see it, but also our eyes have a little bit of a fisheye to them. So if you get just any broad enough area, you're going to be able to see it. But it is pretty impressive. Start to see some concentric patterns. You see these lines where it's cracking. Hopefully you can see this. It's so bright that I really can't see. This is really slushy right now, and what's going to happen is the water is going to seep up through these crack lines, and in maybe another 3 weeks this will just be vibrant, bright, shiny white, and all these crack lines will be way more pronounced, and you won't have sort of that grayish underneath. That's just the water seeping through from recent precipitation. Now this has always kind of been a cool, lawless area, but society's kind of catching up. It used to be once it's dry enough you could drive out there, but now they put up barriers saying that you cannot drive out onto it and that it's private property and then you go out at your own risk. Used to be every year you get a few cars stuck out there, which is always kind of funny because it looks salty on the surface, but if you don't know how to read the conditions, you can get stuck out there, and that's a big problem. So now they've done away with that and made barriers so you can't drive out there, which is kind of unfortunate. Now, I love to come out here to do astrophotography because, again, it's so far away from city lights. This is a beautiful area to get some truly epic pictures of the Milky Way and of the star sky. And I'll go ahead and share some of those on here. But again, the further you get away from city lights, the better you get a night sky and the better that you can see, again, just how glorious the heavens are. So anyways, that's the Bonneville Salt Flats. It's pretty unique. Well, I hope you enjoyed this quick little trip out to the Great Salt Lake Desert and the Bonneville Salt Flats. And always remember, life is a gift. So never stop learning and never stop exploring. We'll see you next time.